What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is a new week, and yeah, a new week of content for me for sure. And yeah, so over the last week, I was uploading some sort of like squad builders, or like some scouting type videos. And a lot of highly requested or like comments on them videos or highly requested sort of video ideas were all to do with the under 23s. Obviously, I have that is where I play a lot of my competition. And obviously we have a series on the under 23s, Road to Glory, which comes out every Friday. And yeah, the main comments were sort of like, what's your picks for under 23s? And can I sort of suggest players that I know about that I don't use on the Road to Glory? So yeah, so pretty much I've been trying to build these squads over the past couple of days. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that it would be quite a lot of effort to do that. I've been asking around, getting some advice of other people as well, because obviously, two brains is better than one and whatnot. But yeah, obviously I have my own personal opinions on some of the youngsters coming up and people that I favour. So yeah, this video is sort of a mixture of opinion, and it's just a lot of like youngsters that you could pick up for cheap, or the alternate they could pick up for quite expensive and hope that they blossom and continue to do well in the world of football. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, if you could please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because this video did take quite a long time to make. And without any further ado, we'll crack on to the squads. So I will preface this by saying we are starting with the absolute very like players that aren't playing as much. Players that are still developing, and then we'll go all the way through to players that play right now and have very good potential. But yeah, so honourable mentions before we start. I've got a list of players here that aren't on Sorare yet that I just love, or not, just, like, have a lot of potential and things like that. So we have Kendry Payes, if that's how you say his name. I think he's like probably one of the biggest like prospects right now, and he's signing on to Chelsea very soon. So should be on Sorare shortly. But youngster looks very good. Tipped highly by one of my friends as well. Ollie Arblaster, who for me, I've seen him play live. He played for Port Vale last season, and he's currently at Sheffield United, and I think he's a great player. Trevan Sanusi, he's a youngster for Newcastle, winger, quick, looks great. Got Maxi Oladelli, Polish boy, great player. Cam Brannigan, who plays for Oxford. And yeah, if you don't know about any of them guys, just trust me, they're good. I will say as well before we go into it, I am obviously English, and a lot of these players are either playing in the Prem or Championship or like the lower leagues in England, because that's just where like I predominantly know. Some of you guys watching this video might be from a different country, therefore you know a lot about the players coming up in that country way more than me. So yeah, so a lot of this will be like Championship or Premier League level play, or that type of route. And yeah, let me know obviously in the comments where you're from, and the players that I missed out, because there is millions of players in the world, so I'm definitely bound to have not seen some of them. So yeah. Anyway, so the first team, or no, this is definitely not the first team. Sorry, I don't know how that glitched there. This is the first team, so obviously I'm trying to start it in an order of like players that aren't really playing all the way up to. Yeah. So the goalkeeper Van der Vaart, I think everyone that plays Sorare already knows about this guy. He's a bit expensive as well, but he's a second choice goalkeeper at the minute at Leipzig, and he eventually will go on to be a first team keeper probably next season. This boy I don't know too much about. He's a Chelsea youngster, but he's been tipped highly by one of my friends. So I thought I'd include him in the video because it seems like a pretty fair price and he's playing right now. So looks like a decent youngster from Chelsea. Bergval, he's a set piece specialist, so that's definitely one for the future. Obviously, he's not in the Spurs team right now. You can see I've got a real Spurs contingency here. Mikey Moore, who's been looking great for the England team for sure, or the younger levels in the English ranks, and then William Lancashire, who I've always rated as quite a decent striker. He's the one in England that's sort of like been spoke about quite a lot, but hasn't really yet. He's yet to sort of show his stuff. But yeah, these are all players that are, I'd say, like pretty fairly priced at the moment, for considering they're not exactly broken into their first teams yet. Respectfully, won't spend too much time on them. Next up, we got again Bazunu, was injured for a while. Great goalkeeper. Van der Berg. He's actually, I think he's sort of broken into the Brentford team now. But again, good player, good price. Asan I can't say his name, but Asan. I think he's going to be. I think he's actually probably the most potential right now for the German national team. Like in the midfield, like one of the players that's highly rated. Ferguson back from his injury. We'll see how that one goes. And Carvalho, I just think he's a great player. Again, he's sort of like fighting his way into the team right now. So same with all of these. I mean, Ferguson is a bit different because obviously he's come back from a long injury, but you do expect him to eventually take Welbeck's role with Pedro sitting in behind. Next up, these squads onwards are more like players that you can pick up now and probably use. And again, I've tried to not use players that I use in the Road to Glory. So if you guys don't know about the Road to Glory, then obviously it's every Friday on the channel. And yeah, obviously we're using certain players there. So if there's a player that's like really obvious or popular that you don't see in this video, then there is a chance that we use him on the Road to Glory. But yeah, so we've got Garcia. I think he's probably been one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga right now. Obviously, the team he's playing for is not the best, Espanyol, but him himself, he looks like a decent goalkeeper, and I think fairly priced at about £20. Like, yeah, I noticed in a previous video done like this, someone was mentioning about the prices. Obviously, this video doesn't really fit to that because classic, you can use classic and in season in under 23s. But for my future ones of these, I will be focusing on the in season price for sure. But yeah, so about £20 for a goalkeeper in the under 23s, not too bad. Then we got Mark Gahey, who again great player. I'd say the price is probably a bit high. Obviously, you can buy the classic one for pretty cheap. We got Romain Eze, who is a young midfielder at Millwall, great player in the Championship. Ellie Sims, who's yet to really kick off his season, or definitely compared to obviously his previous couple of seasons, but still eligible for the under 23 competition. Is a great striker. And then Yerwin Pino back from a long term injury. Again, bit of a risk, but for the price, I'd say it's pretty fair. So yeah, we've got some sort of a mixture here of like fairly priced players in these three, and then some higher end, definitely higher end price players here. Moving on to the next team, Noyanol, who's been pretty much, well, personally in my gallery, probably my best under 23 goalkeeper right now. Him and Hedel, who is another goalkeeper for Rapid Vienna, who's pretty good. We've got Livramento, who Trippier is just, well, I think pretty sure they've just announced that he's out for 5 weeks, Trippier. So Livramento really should be getting his chance now. He's sort of like uh, in and around the England squad as well. Like he's not being used, but just the fact he's being called up is good signs. Obviously, he's been playing a lot for the under 21s. So has Lewis Hall. But they seem to favour Tino because every time someone drops out, they call up Tino to sit on the bench or like train with the main team, which is good. Then we've got another player that I've seen in real life, Raksaki, a brilliant player. He did actually have a really good game week not too long ago, which saw his price go up a little bit. But yeah, Raksaki's a brilliant player. I've seen him in real life for Charlton. And yeah, I think he'll do the business at Sheffield. But yeah, a loanee from Palace at Sheffield at the moment. Then we've got a Leeds boy, winger, quick. You know, not really much more you need to say, to be fair. But yeah, it looks like a decent little player. And then we've got a suggestion here, Dario Ezogo, if that's how you say his name. A suggestion from one of my friends called Jacob. And yeah, his scores look decent. I haven't seen him play, so I'm not going to go out and pretend like I know everything about this guy. But you can see everyone in this squad is pretty fairly priced for under 23s, especially the likes of Araxaki and Tino. I think they're great pickups for their price for sure. And obviously Noel, I mean, it's pretty cheap for an under 23s keeper as well. So yeah, if you're looking to build under 23s for the first time, I'd say these three for sure are really good value. Very good value for money right now. So moving on to the next, so this is obviously stepping up a bit more in value. We've got sort of a stack here in Royal Antwerp. Again, a suggestion from one of my friends. And yeah, I haven't seen too much of them either, but apparently they're really good. Their scores look really good as well. We've got Borja Signs, who sort of plays very attacking side for Norwich. Probably people know about Signs now because I think he scored a hat trick the other day. So definitely be popping up on people's radar. Koleosho, again, very popular name. Again, for £3, pretty decent. Yeah, I think most people know about Koleosho. And then Naipan, which is like he's pretty much have a Norwegian friend called Finn, and he just said, look, if you're looking at anyone from Norway, Naipan's the guy. So I thought I'd throw him in. Can't really make an under 23s video without Naipan. But yeah, so these are all around about the £3 to £5 mark. Obviously taking out the goalkeeper. But yeah, the goalkeeper you're always gonna pay money on. So yeah, so this is like the step up. I get quite a big step up in the under 23, but these are all players that I think are like good enough now to be cooking. Hermansen looks really good. And he's playing for Leicester, so Leicester definitely in the bottom half of the Premier League for sure. And he just looks like a really cracking goalkeeper. Now it might be a situation where we see this sometimes in the Premier League where like a bottom feeder club will have like the goalkeeper will just have a great season because he just faces so many shots. But I don't know. I reckon Hermansen looks like the guy. Obviously, Schmeichel's the national goalkeeper at the moment, but I don't see why Hermansen can't take that off him. Yeah, or at least give him some competition for it. Then we've got Hato, who looks brilliant. I personally own Divine Wrench from Ajax, but the whole Ajax defense is quite young and looks pretty decent. They all fit for under 23s, of course. And yeah, I think Hato's probably the pick of the bunch for me. Obviously, I've gone with a double defensive sort of Ajax stack here. Yuri Bass, again, another player that's very cheap. And probably not that many people know about Bass, but even Hato, I think he's been called up to the national team, so it shows, any of these players that are under 23s, especially 18, being called up to the main national team, even if they're not playing, it's just it's a merit to show their potential, sort of like a reward. Same with Livramento really. But yeah, we've got Paul Wanner. He's been on the radar for a while. I think probably a lot of people know about him, but finally he's sort of like come into the Bundesliga and just he looks like he just runs things for Heidenheim, which is brilliant for him and his career. And yeah, he just looks like one of them players that has the potential to go on and be a real superstar. But of course, we'll see if he lives up to it. And then one of my personal favourites, João Pedro at Brighton. I think he's recently. I think he might still be injured. I'm not too sure on that one. But he's sort of just when he's not injured, of course, he just looks brilliant for Brighton. I think they're really missing him at the moment as well. They've had not the best results recently. I genuinely think it's a lot to do with Pedro being injured. Like he's probably my favourite player at Brighton, and that is actually saying a lot considering how much I do love a lot of the players at Brighton. Of course, you could make a whole gallery of under 23 Brighton players that look good, but I think he's the pick of the bunch for me for sure. Pick out of the bunch, yeah, for me. Like he's a great player. And then finally, this is my unlimited under 23s budget. If I had all the money didn't care about money, and just wanted a great under 23s team. Oh no! Oh, it has saved. Brilliant. So yeah, Trubin in goal. Gvardiol, Bellingham, Yamal, Musiala. I think they're all like the next in line, if you like. Players that definitely are expensive. Don't get me wrong, and there's a great reason for that. Obviously, they have so much utility in across all competitions. They all play for some level of national team, so that's always a good sign. And yeah, I think generally speaking for this video, guys, or if you're looking to go into under 23s, I think a really good way of doing it is look at the national teams and like see, have they been called up, do they play for the under 21s, are they in the main team, like how much of a chance are they getting, because generally speaking that is a really good way to scout, especially on like in general, not just in so rare. Like if they're playing, like for example, like obviously Yamal is like a really big anomaly, but the fact he is 16, 17, whatever, playing for his national team is like a big indicator to wow, he's potential to be like a world beater, of course. And I mean, generally speaking, any player that's 18 or whatever playing for their national team is generally going to be a really good player because they're obviously getting that experience in a very young age. And perfect for the competition under 23s. So yeah, let me know who I've missed out. Obviously, guys, I could have made 100 million squads. um, but yeah, and there's obviously definitely players that I forgot about probably. But yeah, like I said, my main focus is obviously England because that's where most of my knowledge is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these sort of like under 23 suggestions. And let me know if you guys have any, especially for the under 23 series. You guys know that that's every Friday, so if you have any suggestions of players that I could pick up for that, that would be great. Me and Cal obviously running that one, so I have to run it by him as well. But yeah, yeah. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, please. It took me a long time to make the video, and talk to everyone about who I should include. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace out.